So I got my May Patreon stickers in, and I realized I must have looked at they're glossy. As you can see, I did pepper stickers and I did some soap stickers as well. But usually when I get this little, actually hang on, the lining is shit, 1 second. So they're glossy for one, which I never get, so I need to go double check the thing. But also this little date tab, this is actually supposed to not be part of that's not supposed to be part of the die cut. The cut line, oh god, sorry. The cut line should have really gone inside of this, so that way this was just part of the tab. So I'm gonna double check to see if I fucked up on the proof or if this is on Sticker Ninja's side, but they're still super cute and they look beautiful, but I definitely did not want them. I mean, the glossy looks good, but it's not ultimately small potatoes, but let's, I'm gonna double check. Roll. I fucked up. That's on me. Oh well. Oh well. I get kind of bummed when it's too sunny out, which I know is weird, but I think it's because I'm such a homebody and I love just sitting in front of my computer doing things, so that way when the weather is really nice, I feel guilted into going out into the sunshine, even though I know it's good for my health. I understand that means I probably have my priorities all skewed and stuff, but so I bought some really large paper bags to make my recycling life easier. And on the bags it says these are really good for composting. And I just, didn't read too deeply into the measurements. I thought it would be kind of, a hefty, good sized paper bag like you might get from grocery shopping. It's a 30-gallon bag. So, double wall paper long bag. Bottom fits in yard card, fold to close, stands upright. So, at least this will be able to hold a shit ton of recycling, which is awesome. Oh my god. It does stand upright though. That's great. Okay. So I guess it was a good thing after all that I had such a large bag for the recycling, because now it means I just have one bag to take down. Oh, but look at this. This corner's finally clean. Hello. This little under area is finally clean, thank God. These are 2 packages that were wrongly delivered to me months and months ago. I don't know what to do with them. I just take them to UPS and see if they can do anything. But then I've added some more art up on my gallery wall. She is looking, let me see. She's looking so cute. Very happy. But yeah, I would maybe love to get some shelves right there. Would love to get some shelves right here maybe, but alas. Now I am going to, this is normally where I put my phone when I'm filming TikToks. I am going to go take all that stuff down. I'm gonna get myself a little snacky, and then I was gonna do some more like organizing. I was gonna organize some like business documents and stuff, but frankly, I think I'm a little bit on like the organizing front. So I think what I will be doing is chopping up address labels. Cool. Hi, Loaf. Hi, baby.
I really enjoyed Argo.
I'm glad. Hi, Sophie. My baby girl.
Alan Arkin.
Hey, do you want to say anything to the vlog?
I threw up today.
Oh.
Yeah, so I called out of work and I watched Argo, and both cats slept on either side of me, which is huge.
That is such truly an incredible development.
So I'm having ginger ale.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna have chicken noodle soup.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I'll watch another movie.
We shall see. May postcards came out so cute. They came out so pretty. I think what I want to start doing is I've fallen back into where my postcard designs, hang on. I have my standing desk, so we have to do a little bit of a taller thing than usual. I realized that since my Patreon is like a charge when you join kind of program, or kind of, it's that system. Sorry, I'm listening to music as I'm talking to you. And I realized that I think it's more beneficial if I could show off my rewards at the very beginning of the month, because my Patreon has been on a little bit of a decline, I would say, over the past like however many months. And that could be happening for any myriad reasons. As a business owner, from like a business standpoint, I'm like, okay, so there's something that I'm doing that isn't working. So how can I change things so that my Patreon can either like stay consistently where it's at, or like slowly start growing again? Because, you know, Patreon pretty much pays all my bills. So it's very important. So I'm thinking about that. So I was working on some cute Instagram GIFs, whatever. They're right here. You can see, aren't they cute? So cute. I'm so proud of them. And I have one more that I want to do. So I might do that one. And then I think I'm going to probably just take a break from like drawing and stick some labels on some envelopes for my Tangerine patrons. And then I can sketches for my June postcard. So June is also my birthday month. So it's also Pride Month. We love it. We love the gay synergy of it all. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. But like I have to make sure that I don't do the thing of where like I have to make sure it's seasonally appropriate, because if I get trapped in that, then I feel very weirdly pressured to make sure that what I'm drawing is appropriate. And so I just want to be kind of loosey-goosey with it. I'm gonna work on this one last GIF, and then I will start working on Tangerine stuff. But you know that I am right here. The new Harry album, by the way, phenomenal. Also, the new TXT single, Good Boys Going Bad. Oh my God, incredible. And the new Got 7 comeback single, Na Na Na. So good, so good. I've also recently started listening to PH1, I think they're called. Oh my God, incredible. Incredible. So I've been having a very good music morning. Waiting for you to pull me in. So, I was thinking while I am attaching labels to these envelopes, I was thinking we could chat a bit. I could talk about what's on my mind because I have been feeling pretty dejected and like disillusioned in terms of my career and in terms of like the state of the world as it is existing right now. It's very hard. I say that as a person who is obviously in a great position of like privilege and comfort and all of these things. Shit just keeps getting bad, and it is exhausting, to say the least, to continue feeling like it's worth it at all. I tend to fall into moments of like climate despair with terms of like climate change and stuff, and that's obviously not to mention war, corruption, poverty, all of these just horrible, terrible, awful things. I have been getting lost in that despair a lot lately, and sort of that has been sliding over into me feeling extremely just sort of dejected and disillusioned about like all of this stuff that I do, because it makes me feel very much like, what's the point? What's the point of drawing stupid little pictures when there are people that are dying? And I was watching Lee's new video where she was talking about this idea that we are so lucky to be in a position where our jobs can be whatever we want them to be, which is something that I forget a lot because I have been locked into doing basically the same thing, virtually the same thing for the last like almost 5 years, and I've been feeling really, really worn down by it all, and I've been feeling just tired and burned out and all these things. So I was watching her video about how our jobs can be what we need them to be. And then I was recording my Patreon podcast yesterday, and I was talking about the idea of like, you cannot pour from an empty cup, which is obviously like a concept that I've intellectualized for a very long time and I've been aware of in sort of like a front brain kind of way. But yesterday, for some reason, as I was talking about it, there was just this shift in my brain where I felt like it just kind of moved over and clicked into place. It was kind of like a huge monumental breakthrough moment for me, and it was wild to have it happening like while I was recording. And I basically had the idea, and Connor's also talked about this in regards to the book like Joyful Militancy. I was thinking about the fact that there's already so much shit going on in the world. Why am I manufacturing my own misery on top of that? Why have I locked myself into this state of suffering and despair and exhaustion and fatigue? And I had just this epiphany again that I like thought about in a very intellectual way, but I've never internalized. And it's the idea that if I take the steps to maximize my own joy, then I can have the capacity to maximize the joy and resilience and hope of my community and my family and my loved ones. I feel like that is where I can make the most immediate, tangible, visible difference, because I'm so big on like mutual aid and community care and everything. And I think that realizing that in order to care for people in the way that I am desperate to, and in order for me to do that, I can't pour from an empty cup. I also finished reading The Miracle of Mindfulness by Thich Nhat Hanh. In that, he talks about where it's just like, in talking about mindfulness, there's a story, kind of like an allegory that he gives at the end of the book, where they're answering the questions like, what is the most important thing to do right now? I think it's like 3 questions, but basically it's just kind of like, what is the most important thing for me to do right now? Like, what is the thing for me to do? How do I go about doing that thing? And I think there was like one other question, but it's this allegory about, I don't want to recount it in detail, you can look it up. But essentially at the end of it, it comes to the fact that like the most important thing is the people that are right in front of you. The most important thing that you can do is build the connection and listen to the people that are around you, that are in front of you. If we do not maintain a level of like mindfulness and presence so that we can look after our communities, then what the fuck are we doing? And I think that like, just because so much shit going on in the world feels so big, also this isn't a real tattoo, this is a temporary tattoo, feels really big and insurmountable from an individual standpoint. And I think that focusing on community care and mutual aid is a way where you can feel like you are where you can see the tangible effect and difference that you can have on people. And I'm realizing that if I want to do that in the way I've been wanting to do that, I gotta look after myself. And because of that, I've suddenly been filled with all of this like new vigor around my creative life and around my career, because it feels like I have a purpose now. So that's cool. That's a cool way to start my birthday month. I'm such a nerd. I feel like I had my Phantom Thief breakthrough. Because, spoilers, kind of, I guess, for the end of Persona 5. I will talk about it in the vaguest sense possible. But basically, you, as the Phantom Thieves, okay, I guess I also have to talk about this. For those of you that don't know, Persona 5 is an RPG, basically, where you play as, like, the leader of a ragtag team of, like, Japanese teenage misfits, essentially. It is, you save the world from corrupt, rotten adults. It's a pretty fucking cool game. But the way that characters sort of like get their sort of Phantom Thief powers, or like their persona powers, is this idea of them like recognizing their true selves and like their true potential within them. And later on in the game, you come across a lot of characters that are very like apathetic, that are talking about like, why even bother trying to avoid the end of the world? It's inevitable. You might as well sit back, relax, and enjoy it. There's no point in trying to change anything. It's all shitty and terrible anyway. And when I get into my nihilistic, sort of like doom-oriented mindset, Connor will tell me, he's like, it's not very Phantom Thief-like of you. And I'm like, what a terrifying ordeal it is to be known. Because that's the shit that gets me. I don't want to be an apathetic, passive bystander. I want to, with the resources available to me, and the life that I have, I want to maximize my joy so that I can maximize the joy and strength of others. So that's what I've been thinking about. Very big feelings for, Tuesday, Wednesday, but I feel like it's important. I also feel kind of weird, like I feel weird talking about this stuff, because like, I'm walking around with like a shit ton of privilege and advantages and benefits. I live in Seattle, Washington. I have an incredible home. I have a very steady income doing a job that I love. I have a loving, caring partner. I have a support system in my family. Like I have all of these privileges, and with great power comes great responsibility. So because I have all of these advantages, it is only right for me to harness them in order to do the best that I can. It's like I'm so much about like doing the best that you can with the resources that are available to you. Resources don't just mean like money and time and stuff, but it's about like your mental bandwidth, your emotional well-being, like all of this stuff. And the thing is that if I can give money, I can give time, and I can get all of these things, but if my mental capacity and if my emotional capacity is depleted, then I'm only doing like a third of my full capacity for doing good, affecting positive change, even in like small, hyper-local ways. So, yeah. That's what I've been thinking about. That's what's been on my mind. Wanted to share that with you. Also, my chai is cold now. Well, it's lukewarm. This is why Connor gave me shit for wanting to have like a mug warmer, because he was like, ideally, he's like, you wouldn't need one because you would just like remember to drink your beverage. I'm like, ideally, yes. And as I continue to practice mindfulness, I'm getting a little bit better. I remember there was one day where I actually finished my tea before it got cold and I didn't have to reheat it in the microwave, and I was like, oh my God. And luckily this is chai, so you know it tastes better than if I'm reheating a latte or something. But I have a little mug warmer that I bought and I just never returned. So I think I'm just gonna use it. Because I'm like, you know what? It has an auto shut-off feature. So it's not like a fire hazard that I have to worry about. What time is it? It is. It's 4:20. Nice. It's 4:20, so sorry. So I'm going to keep sticking these labels on. I think I should be able to get through. I think what I might do actually is just peel and stick all of my international labels and then pack the international envelopes. My assistant, Hobby, who normally comes in to help me, unfortunately they are out with COVID. I think they're on they're on the journey to recovery, but obviously means that they can't come in for a while. And so I'm packing my Patreon orders, and I am not as efficient as Hobby is. We have very different brainworms. Hobby's brainworms are very good about just like sitting down, doing repetitive menial tasks and just like crushing them out. My brainworms are very much like, they have autistic brainworms, I have ADHD brainworms, and even though those brainworms have a lot of overlap, this is one area in which they do not, because for me, I can do a task like this for maybe 2 hours max, and then I feel like I want to pull my eyeballs out. So, I'm trying to do this in like short, manageable bursts. So I'm leaving today at 5, so yeah, I'll just see how much I can get done in the next 40 minutes. I will probably just try and start packing these envelopes. But alas, I'm probably gonna hit up Jenny Nicholson's Patreon and watch one of her Patreon exclusive video essays. I love her Patreon rambles. They're so good. It's just hours of extra Jenny content. What more could you possibly want? I know she's working, I think she started on her Barbie video. I think she uploaded like part 1 of her Barbie video, so I might watch that again. She's working on like a 3-hour long video where she's talking about the entirety of the Barbie cinematic universe, which is incredible to me. I might watch that until 5 p.m. and then home I go to my boy and my cats. I think Connor and I are going to finish watching Love, Death, and Robots when I get home. Love, Death, and Robots is so, really like the first 2 seasons. You know, there are some episodes that obviously like stick more in your mind than others. Like the one that comes to mind, I think it was from season 2? Question mark? I don't know, but it was the one episode about like the like sort of like brain link, like beast fights. That shit was really cool. I also really liked the episode about the giant on the beach. That one made us very emotional. But this season has been so gory for like no reason. I understand violence as a plot device. I understand it as a storytelling device. However, it's so much because it's not like where you have like kind of intense moments of violence that sort of break up like a very sort of like, you know, maybe heavy narrative that act as like a cathartic thing. It's just been really, I think the thing that bothers me, it's been really gory. Like it's just been super bloody in a way that feels so unnecessary to the stories they're trying to tell. My favorite one so far is the one that takes place on Io, Jupiter's moon. Loved the art style, and also that episode made me cry, kind of out of nowhere. So I think Connor and I are going to finish it. I am very excited about the final episode in this season. It's called Jibaro. And I've had people say they were like, yeah, the season was really gory and weird, but the last episode honestly saved it all for me. And I'm like, oh damn. I also have to say the like 3 robots thing. I feel like in the first 2 seasons, it wasn't quite as heavy-handed about the whole like humans are destroying themselves story. I feel like it was more tastefully done, and I feel like in this season, I was just like, surely you can think of, because it was about, you know, millionaires saved themselves from the robot apocalypse by living out on these like little self-contained communities, I guess, luxury communities out on the ocean, but they like didn't want any poor people there, so it was all like AI, but then of course the AI turned on them. I think this was before the robot apocalypse. I think this was when, you know, climate change wreaked havoc, and so they all went out there. I don't know, whatever. I just feel like it was heavy-handed in a way, and I was like, this is boring. This is boring, and I'm disengaged. Anyway, that's what we're gonna do tonight. Cool, great. Thanks for listening to my little monologue on having a purpose. Feels cool. What a great breakthrough to have before my 28th birthday. So I'm going to keep doing this. And 07. Good morning, Pepper. Good morning. Oh, someone's a little feisty this morning. You're a very toasty, sunny baby, huh? You and me are going to the vet later this morning, Soph. I know you do not want to, but you have diarrhea, so we must. Angie tail. Sometimes I get self-conscious over how much I love Sophie. Like, if I look at her too long, I start crying. And I think it's just because she's getting old and I'm getting nervous. But she's gonna be at the doctor now for like 40 minutes. So I'm gonna keep my phone on me. But in the meantime, I'm going to pop over to KEXP, get myself a latte, and work on some Patreon stuff. So. Guess who has perfect blood? It's Sophie. She did so good at the vet. First thing the vet said when he called me was, Sophie's a good girl. And I was like, I know, I'm aware. She's a perfect cat. Got to give her some medicine. I have to take a sample of her poop back down to the vet. So, you know, it's just pet parent things. I would do literally anything for you, Sophie. I love you so much. Oh, baby. Hi. Pepper. Have you brought your toy over to your father? Oh my God. You good, baby? No. What do you want? Do you want to play? Oh, okay. Y'all.
So chatty.
Chatty baby. Do you want to play, sweetheart? We can play.
She definitely wants to play.
I know. She will drag her toy around. She'll like pick it up by the ribbon and literally just drag it around the apartment, and then she'll put it down next to you and start meowing. She's very good at communicating her needs.
She's very good at communicating her needs.
You're so smart. Yo. Okay, we'll play. Connor Miller. Where are we headed?
We are headed to the farmer's market.
Delightful.
I want to get stuff for veggie tacos, maybe some salads.
Yum.
And I also kind of want to get blue oyster mushrooms.
Yeah. We did have that mushroom grow kit, which you loved.
I did love. It did produce way more mushrooms than I could handle. Like, I think they told me 3 pounds, and I was like, cool, and I didn't know how much 3 pounds of mushrooms is.
Right.
But it's a lot.
Yep. There's a lot of mushrooms. So.
What are you looking for?
I am looking for, so one of my favorite bakeries in Seattle called Seawolf. They do these lye rolls that I love, these pretzel rolls. So maybe they'll be there. I used to get them every Sunday at the farmer's market.
They're delicious.
They're so good, pre-pandemic. But I'm hopefully gonna get that. Just lots of fresh veggies, so that way we can make a yummy, yummy salad for dinner. It's the first farmer's market of the season.